Hello and welcome to SCANS eCampus. SCANS eCampus is a gold-approved learning partner of ACCA. On this channel, we bring you demo videos of different courses available at SCANS eCampus. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get notifications of additional videos and hit the like button.
Some of the numerical aspects of throughput accounting, the throughput accounting ratios. They are very important for exam questions, the concept and the calculation both. So there are three main ratios that are calculated. The first one is return per factory hour, assuming that factory hour is the bottleneck, resource or constraint or limiting factor. So return per factory hour in throughput accounting means throughput contribution per factory hour, and this is calculated by dividing throughput per unit for whichever product the throughput return per factory hour needs to be calculated. So throughput per unit divided by the product time on bottleneck resource. So throughput contribution per unit divided by factory hours per unit, I would say. Because of course factory hours are assumed to be the limiting factor or bottleneck resource, so they can also be defined as product time on bottleneck resource. The second ratio is the cost per factory hour. Now here the cost means the operating expenses or the factory cost or the conversion cost, which includes direct labor, variable overheads and fixed overheads. So basically all costs other than direct material costs. So cost per factory hour will be the total factory cost, the total of all these elements divided by the total time available on bottleneck resources. So because we are taking total factory cost in numerator, so denominator will have total bottleneck time, right? Bottleneck hours or whatever the limiting factor is, you divide the total factory cost with the total availability of the limiting factor, right? Ratio number 3, the most important one, throughput accounting ratio, very frequently tested in the exams. So throughput accounting ratio is return per factory hour, which is ratio number 1, divided by cost per factory hour, which is ratio number 2. Now again, I'm going to remind you that here return per factory hour and cost per factory hour is used assuming that factory hours are the limiting factor. So you can put this formula in another way by saying that throughput accounting ratio is throughput per limiting factor or throughput return contribution per limiting factor divided by the factory cost per limiting factor. So this formula is exactly equals to the formula which is given in the slide. However, the formula on the slide is assuming that factory hours are the limiting factor, and most of the exam questions do have factory hours as the limiting factor. Now, in any organization, it is expected that throughput accounting ratio is greater than 1. Why? Because if the ratio is going to be greater than 1, it means that the throughput return is generated at a higher rate as compared to the factory cost per limiting factor. Throughput accounting ratio, the higher the better. So if throughput accounting ratio, let's say, is greater than 1, this shows that the product is generating more throughput than the costs. If it equals to 1, it means that throughput return is equals to cost per limiting factor, and if it is less than 1, it means that the costs are greater than the throughput return, right? So this shows profitable products, this is break even, and this may be the product which are not good for profits overall. Now, how to improve the throughput accounting ratio for the individual products and for the company or factory overall? So again, you need to keep in mind the formula of throughput accounting ratio, which is throughput per limiting factor divided by conversion cost or factory cost per limiting factor, right? So keeping this formula in mind, mathematically you can now think about which elements will affect the throughput accounting ratio and how much. So for example, if you increase the selling price, this will increase throughput per unit and eventually the throughput accounting ratio. The second one is that if we reduce total operating expenses or conversion cost or factory cost, this will reduce the cost per hour, which is the denominator, and eventually will increase the throughput accounting ratio. Similarly, if you improve the productivity or efficiency, reducing the time required to make each unit of product, it will improve throughput accounting ratio. So improving productivity, especially improving the productivity of the bottleneck process, is going to improve the throughput accounting ratio. Improving the productivity of non-bottleneck constraint will not improve the throughput accounting ratio, as currently the most binding constraint is the bottleneck process itself. Let's consider a few examples to understand the calculations of the ratios we just discussed in a more detail. So this is from a past exam objective test question. The example is that X company uses a throughput accounting system. So the questions always tell you that the throughput accounting system is used, and then you have to, use the concepts of throughput accounting ratio to answer the question. Details of product A per unit are as follows. So you are given the selling price, the material cost and conversion cost per unit of product A. Conversion cost means the factory cost, the operating expenses, which includes direct labor and all sorts of overheads, right? Now time on bottleneck resource is 6 minutes. So per unit of product A uses 6 minutes of the bottleneck resource. Now requirement is what is the return per hour for product A. So return per hour of product A is required, not the throughput accounting ratio. So return per hour or return per limiting factor for product A, which is given in the form of minutes to us. So for return per hour, the first thing we need to calculate is the return, which is throughput contribution per unit, and we'll divide it with the limiting factor per unit. So throughput contribution per limiting factor needs to be calculated. Throughput will be selling price 320 minus direct material cost 80, right? Divided by the limiting factor of 1 unit. And why limiting factor per unit? Because selling price and material cost throughput contribution is being calculated in per unit. So like with like, right? So limiting factor per unit is 6 minutes, but of course we'll have to convert 6 minutes into hours because return per hour is required. So 320 minus 80 divided by 6 divided by 60. So this is to convert minute into hours. So when you solve this, you will get return per hour as $2,400, which is option B here. Now this next question basically requires us to calculate the throughput accounting ratio. I'm reading the requirement. What is the throughput accounting ratio? A company manufactures a product which requires 4 hours per unit of machine time. Machine time is a bottleneck resource, so it is given in the question. In some exam questions, you might be asked to find out which of the given resources is a bottleneck constraint. So you can follow the steps we covered in the last recording while evaluating or finding out what is the bottleneck process in a service industry. So that's the same concept we are going to use. So machine time is a bottleneck resource as there are only 10 machines which are available for 12 hours per day, 5 days per week. The product has a selling price of $130. Now this is relevant for us to calculate throughput contribution. Selling price is $130 per unit. Direct material cost is $50 per unit. Labor cost is $40 per unit and factory overhead cost of $20 per unit. These costs are based on weekly production and sales of 150 units. Now because we have to calculate the throughput accounting ratio formula is throughput per limiting factor divided by factory cost per limiting factor. Now if you use throughput in per unit, take limiting factor of 1 unit, but if you convert throughput contribution in total, because you are given the total number of units, then you will have to convert the limiting factor, which is machine hours in this question, into total as well. So do not make this mistake of taking throughput per unit and limiting factor in total, because that is against the mathematical rules, right? So here throughput per limiting factor will go like 130 minus 50, selling price minus material cost, divided by limiting factor per unit, because contribution is calculated in per unit. So 1 unit requires how much machine time? 4 hours. So 130 minus 50 divided by 4, and this whole thing is further divided by factory cost per limiting factor. So factory cost here will include labor cost and overhead cost, basically all costs other than material. So 40 plus 20 is the per unit factory cost, and because the factory cost is per unit, I will divide it with the limiting factor per unit as well, which is 4 machine hours. So when you solve the numerator and denominator, you get the throughput accounting ratio equals to 1.33. Now, if you have to interpret this ratio, this is greater than 1, it means that the throughput is generated at a greater rate as compared to the factory cost per limiting factor.
If you like this video, visit our website www.scansecampus.com to purchase the complete course at affordable prices. Register today at no cost and access our free 10-day trial.